I am going to do a weekend reading vlog for you guys. So this week I'm going to focus on catching up on both e-arcs and arcs that I need to read because I'm on a couple of blog tours early in September and late August, and I also want to catch up on the magical readathon, which I've been doing an okay job. My TBR definitely did change since I got sick with COVID, so like my book preferences have changed a little bit. So the class I'm going to focus on today is, or this weekend I guess, is Spells and Incantations. I need to read a book that a color wheel chooses my my color. I tried to do this a couple of different times, and the book I wound up DNFing or didn't work, so I'm going to try a different color and just see if something pops. I have a lot of books in my head right now that I do want to read, so let's see what color I get, and then we'll chat through my options. Last time, but the color that got picked was Amber. So I'm going to pick Skander and the Unicorn Thief by S.F. Sedman. I just got this when I was traveling to Florida. I got this at the airport, which finding middle grade books in an airport, very, very not likely. So I was happy to pick this one up. I also do have the audiobook. I read about 20 pages of it so far, and I was enjoying it. So I think I'm going to pick this book up and start reading it. And I'm also going to finish Bridgerton today. That is my big plan, to finish Bridgerton. So I'm going to do that. My puppy is still sleeping. So I think, I think I might actually restart this book just because I feel like I should probably restart it. But yeah, so I'm going to go start this, read about 50 pages and give you guys an update. But this will be for that prompt. And I'm also doing like a couple of different projects right now, just trying to get some stuff done, but this one I think will work. So I'm going to start this book, see if this works, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye, friends. Sorry for the weird angle. My puppy is sitting over there, so I'm trying to keep an eye on her. But I did want to say that I did wind up finishing Bridgerton Season 2, which I'm loved even more on rewatch. I think when I first watched Bridgerton, I watched it in like March, I think is when it came out. And I binged it in like a weekend because I did not want to get spoiled. And now we have a lot more information, like we know like who the next season's going to be about, which is Penelope and Colin, who is my personal favorite of the whole series. I actually like books 3 through 7 a lot more, just like personal preference. So at this point, any book they do, I'll probably really like. The Duke and I, and The Viscount That Loves Me were probably my least favorite in the whole series. But I will say this show made me enjoy those books a lot more. Now I'm going into it knowing that how much I love the series. I'll be curious, but Penelope and Colin is definitely my favorite couple in the show and is one of my favorite books. I really love the rewatch, and then I watched a bunch of interviews, which I've been saving this video for like a couple of months, so that was nice to like watch it. And I went and watch a couple of her other videos because they're filming now, which is fun. And then I read about 50-60 pages in The Unicorn Thief, Skander and the Unicorn Thief. I'm intrigued. Like, basically you have this world where these characters on a certain birthday, they're allowed to take a hatching test, and if they pass this hatching test, then they can go to the island where they become unicorn riders. And the book starts off with sort of like something happens, and like during a competition, a unicorn is taken and a wild unicorn becomes present. And you follow this young boy named Skander, and his sister before him, Kendra, didn't wind up becoming a unicorn rider. And his mom has passed away quite a bit ago, and he's really hopeful that he'll be a unicorn rider. In the first couple chapters, he's not allowed to take the test, and then something sort of dramatic happens, and now he's on his way to be a unicorn rider, he thinks. So I'm intrigued. But yeah, I don't really know where the story's going. I didn't really read the summary, but I know I'm really a big fan of like animal-led fantasy novels, especially for middle grade. So I'm gonna go read another like 150 pages. I read middle grade pretty quickly, and I want this reading vlog to go a little bit like not as so many updates, but I'll probably give you guys an update when I read about 150 pages, or when I know what's happening. Because right now I just know there's like a lot of mysteries surrounding the story right now. But I'm enjoying it. I like Skander as a main character. And yeah, I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. And I'm going to make some progress on my YouTube queue. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from watching TV shows, and I have 42 videos to watch, I think. Some of these I might have watched already. But I'm going to try to get my YouTube queue down so I can watch go watch Stranger Things. That'll be the next show I'm going to focus on, and that's going to be what I'm going to do. Watch a TV show and then catch up on my YouTube cube. So I'll touch you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. I'm back. Saturdays are always a rougher day for me because my dad works and my mom works. So, like, a lot of the time is just spent occupying the puppy. But I did start taking her for walks, and I did listen to a little bit of my audiobook. So I read like 6 chapters of Book of Night. I will say it's getting more interesting. It's just not my favorite. I'll be very, very honest. Like, I'm liking it. It's worth the read. And I feel like it's just it's like reading. When I was reading it, I felt like I was reading it super slow. But it's getting a little bit more interesting. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, but it's like, it's fine. Like, I do like the world a lot. It has very unlikable characters, which I also struggle with. But the world is very interesting, so that's unique. And then I read to page 100 in Skander and the Unicorn Thief, and I'm really enjoying this book. Again, I feel like I'm diving a little bit blind in this book because, like, he is now a unicorn rider. He got his unicorn, and that's really all that's happened. But it is, like, a very, like, interesting and compelling world that I'm really fascinated by. So, like, again, this was a 400-page book. So, like, I think as the story progresses, it will have tension. There's already, like, a villain that may be present and accounted for, and then there's the difference between, like, bonded unicorns and then, like, wild unicorns. And then there's also the whole mystery of why he wasn't allowed to take his test. So there is a lot of, like, elements to the story that I'm really liking, but, like, I feel like I just need more information, and I think we're gonna get it, but I just haven't read that far yet. Also, YouTube Cube update, which, again, we're back with the YouTube Cube, and I have a lot less videos, which is kind of the point of this whole process. I only have 38 left to watch, which is actually pretty good, because I did finish watching Bridgerton today, and then my next show is going to be Stranger Things. So, I'm going to go back to reading, make sure the puppy's okay, and when I get up to page 150, I'll give you guys an update. I hope the next 50 pages really, like, clarifies the story for me a little bit, but we will check in when I get there. A quick update. Last night I did wind up reading pretty much to page 160 in Skander and the Unicorn Thief. I will say in those last, like, 60 pages, I did wind up learning a lot more and progress the story, which is exactly what I was hoping. I really am liking this book. Again, there are elements that are very, very much like unexpected powers. You know, there is found family in here. There is unicorns and creatures. I love creature fantasies. I always have said that. So it really does remind me a lot of, like, the Fablehaven series and the Dragon Rider series, which is also written by Brandon Mull. I'm really liking it. I'm liking Skander as a main character because he's very, like, different. You also have other characters that he's sort of dealing with. There's also a lot of mystery and intrigue in the story that kind of keeps propelling it forward. But I'm really enjoying it. Today, I finally have tested negative for COVID, which is great. I'm going to probably take today, like, a little bit easier. I want to, like, get back to normal tomorrow and start working out again and do all that stuff, but I have to go to a virtual yoga class today. I have to, of course, watch the puppy, but my goal is to finish my 28 videos, which I think is definitely doable if I watch them pretty continuously. But yeah, so that's my goal. I am on chapter 10 of Silver Trouble, so I really am liking it, though. It's like, whenever I pick up Simon & Schuster middle grade, I tend to really, really enjoy them. They tend to produce some of, like, my favorite middle grade stories. Like, I think Keeper of the Lost City was from them. A lot of my favorite middle grade books tend to come from Simon & Schuster. So this one is no different. I really like it. I think it has a lot of action. I think it would be a really, really fun read for kids. This will probably get put in my classroom when I go back to school in the fall. But yes, I'm going to read another, like, quick 50 pages, and I'll give you guys another update. I'm probably going to go to yoga at some point, so I might have to do you guys before then, I might have to do you guys after. So yeah, but I really am liking it, and it's a lot of action, a lot of adventure, a lot of friendship dynamics, which is at the start of this, because Skander was very, very isolated, and now he's in this new environment. But yeah, and there's also, like, new magic being introduced, so again, I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. Because I couldn't hear anything. I think it's because my ears are still super clogged because I'm now over COVID, or getting over COVID. But I am doing reading sprints. The Nexus event dropped and it was so helpful. Thank you, Avengers people. Because the only thing the prompt is you need to finish as many books as you can that you acquired this year. So I actually just bought this book, so that works. I got up to page 211 and there was so much drama in the story. I think I said in one of my previous clips, like I was waiting for the drama to sort of develop. There is a lot in this book, and I think it's, again, it's a first book in a potentially long series, so the first book is always a little bit of an info dump, and like, again, I'm sort of learning with the character a little bit, so that will work for one of my Avengers reading prompts, which is great. But I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of friendship dynamics in here. There's a lot of like magic stuff. There's a lot of like unexpected chosen ones and like unique magic systems are all tropes that I really, really enjoy. I also really like the dynamics between the writers and their unicorns and all the main characters that we're meeting. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to probably update you guys when I get up to page like 260 and see what my progress is. I really do want to go for a bike ride today. But my dad's heading out and I don't know if I'm going to be able to go before he leaves. But my goal for today is to make some more progress on the book of the night. I'm liking it. Not my favorite read right now, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm going to read a little bit more of this. And it's just a very, very interesting world, like quite a bit, and I'm really enjoying that. So I'm going to go back to reading and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye for later. I did wind up filming a video, which I wasn't planning on doing. I was going to wait, but I had a little bit of downtime. So I did wind up getting up to page 260 in Skander and the Unicorn Thief. Sorry, people are texting me. I apologize. And I don't know if you could see her. She's sleeping so nicely. You can't really see her face, but she's sleeping down there. She's very, very quiet. I'm also on reading sprints with 4 paws and a book because we are doing our Nexus event, which is what this book is working for. I'm really, really liking this book quite a bit. I think middle grade stories have become some of my favorites, especially like when I teach because it's just a nice escape. And I'm really liking Skander in the story. It's ticking off a lot of my boxes. Like, I love the elements of found family. I love the elements of like a new magic system. I love the elements of creature fantasy. I'm just really enjoying it. And they're also, the characters are sort of forced to work together, which I like. They're kind of like a ragtag bunch of heroes that are sort of thrust together. There's a lot of mystery and a lot of intrigue in the story as well, and I'm just really enjoying it. So yeah, I got to page 260. My goal for today is to eventually go bike riding so I could finish my book of the night. Also to make some significant progress on this, and then I have a Goodreads project I want to do. So now that I'm feeling a little bit better and the summer is sadly coming to an end, I want to do a couple of little things so I'm ready for the fall when I don't have as much time to plan. So yeah, I'm going to go read another. So when I get to 310, I'll give you guys another update. I feel like this is going to be the part of the book that really, really jumpstarts it. But yeah, me and Miss Cassie are reading. I'm watching sprints. I'm watching some old booktube videos, new booktube videos. I'm trying to stay on track so I can watch Stranger Things next week. So I'm going to go back to reading. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. Quick update. It's about 6:32. I did wind up going for a little bit of a longer walk. I listened to a little bit more of Book of Night. I'm liking it. It's just not like my favorite. Like, I feel like it is like, when I was reading it, I felt like it was super slow. And now that I'm listening to it, I'm just super disconnected from the characters. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. But I'm intrigued to like keep listening. I have to finish that by 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm doing a Nexus event. That is one of the books. So I'm hoping that I can make some significant progress on this book that I'm physically reading so I can do some errandy stuff for the rest of the night and like get prepped for that, and I can just listen to it. If not, it's okay. I hope to finish this book today for sure. So this is going to be my priority for the rest of the night. It's Skander. I'm on page 303. The story is getting really, really good, and I'm really, really liking it. There's a lot of like drama with like the world and there's a lot of different mystery elements that are sort of working together, and at the end I think they're all going to sort of compound together. It is a super fast-paced story and a lot is happening, so you really have to like pay attention because there's a lot of threads that are trying to be connected. But I'm liking Skander. I'm liking all the friendship dynamics that we see in the story, because when we started this book and he was in the mainland, he was very, very isolated, but I like how he's sort of forced to like be friends with people even though people don't necessarily trust him. So I'm going to go back to reading. I'm going to read another like 50 to 60 pages and then I'll give you guys another update. so far I'm really liking it and happy that I picked it up. So I'm gonna go back to reading and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Oh, YouTube Cube update. I have 26 videos left and I'm watching a new creator to me, Tiff Talk Pages, which she's a delight, so I'm happy that I found her. So I'm gonna go back to reading and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. Came back in. It's about 8:38. I did wind up getting up to page 60 in Skander and the Unicorn Thief. I'm really liking it. Again, I think this is like a very, very fast-paced read. Like, it's reading very, very quickly. And I think some of the moments are just like running by a bit quicker than I would like, especially because I'm really feeling invested in all these characters. One thing I do like, it's been a bit, I mean, I guess technically some of the Kiva books did it, but it's really set over like a whole year. And you really do see the characters growing and developing. I'm loving the friendship dynamics in this story, like, quite a bit. Especially because how all, like, these characters started, and where they're coming. I think Mitchell and Scanner's relationship is really, really interesting. But I like that it's, like, almost more than a trio. I normally love trios in books, but this is, like, a quartet, which it's been a bit since I read a book that had, like, 4 main characters that, like, I mean, 4 main characters, but you only get one point of view. So I think it would be interesting maybe to see future characters like in different books. That would be really interesting. But I am liking it. I think it's a very, very quick plot. And I also know that this is the first book in the series, so there is a lot of like telling you about the world. I'm just enjoying it. It's a very, very fun read. I'm on page 60 and I have to get to page 432, so I have about like 100, well, maybe not, maybe a little bit less. But I'm gonna read up until 400 and then I'll give you guys my check-in, and then I'm also tab-wise, it looks beautiful. I got these tabs from the stationery store, so I'm just kind of going through them, and yeah, but I'm really, really enjoying it, like, quite a bit. I'm very, very happy that I picked this book up. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more, read to page 400, and then give you guys another check-in. I'm also doing reading sprints with the girls. Sam reads a little, and Cheyenne, that tall bird girl. And I'm also watching How to Train Your Gavin's Pride and Prejudice reading vlog, or like his Jane Austen one, which is super fun. So definitely go check those out if you're looking for some background noise when you read, if you're like me and cannot read in silence. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Back. So I did wind up getting up to page 395 in The Skander and the Unicorn Thief, and I'm really liking it. This book has been a really wild ride. Like, I feel like the first book in a series, especially a middle grade series, there needs to be a lot of like groundwork, and this book definitely did that. I think the friendships in this story have been really interesting, but also just like the characters and the world building have been super engaging. There was definitely some twists and turns in this book that I really didn't see coming, and like, it's hard to do that in middle grade, but I think it really did a very, very effective job if the breadcrumbs have been accurate. And I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna go read like the last like 30 pages of this, and then I'm gonna give you guys a check-in, and then I'm gonna see how I'm feeling. I will admit, the second half of this day I started to not feel as well. I think it's just, you know, recovering from COVID, overdoing it. So we'll see if my plan for tonight was also to finish Book of Night and like do some cleaning and like do some stuff. I may do that tomorrow morning. We will see. But I am gonna go finish the rest of this. That was my goal tonight, because this I have to finish by tonight. The other one, if I don't finish, it's not the end of the world. It just won't get to count for the boss battle. I mean, it will still count. It just won't be double points. So I can finish this tomorrow. So I'm gonna go finish reading this and see if any of my predictions come true. I think some might be a red herring and some might not, so I'm curious, but very, very, very rich world, and like, I'm really happy that I got this at the airport. I also had an e-arc of it, but I like to read physical books more, and my tabs turned out so nice. Probably my best tabbing that I've ever done in a book. So I might keep this up and start tabbing more. So we will see, but I'm gonna go read a little bit, finish my book, and then we'll check in. Here I'm back. So I did wind up finishing Skander and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Sedman. I really, really like this book. I thought it was great. You could see I did all my tabs on the side. This book is like definitely going to be a new favorite of mine. I think it really was a very, very rich story. I'm probably going to rate it 5 stars on Goodreads. I think there was some subtle pacing issues in the story, but I think it really was just because it's the first book in a series and a lot has to happen, but also I think it really was trying to be very action-adventure-y and probably was written that way for reluctant readers because there was a lot happening in the story and I just enjoyed it. I think there was a lot of elements of the story that just captured me and it was just a fun read. Like, I really liked the main character. There was also anxiety rep in here, which I really liked a lot. And I think the characters in the story, like, I mean, the book is only told from Scanner's point of view, but I feel like the other characters, like Bobby and Mitchell and the other, like, all the characters really had their own voices, and that's really hard to do in a middle grade when, like, you only have one point of view character. There was a lot of twisty, turny stuff that I think would be great on a reread. Like, I think now that I know the end of the story, I would love to reread this. I actually do have the audiobook, so I'll probably re-listen to it before book 2 comes out. But I love this. I would probably give it like 5 stars. So it is 10:30, which I finished this for the Nexus event, which is great. I think I'm going to take a little bit of time, try to listen to a little bit of Book of Night and see how far I get. I don't think I'm going to do the cleaning today. Well, we'll see. And I should probably go to bed. I have to go to physical therapy tomorrow morning too. But I'll listen to a little bit of my audiobook, do my blog post for tomorrow because I sort of forgot about it. I tend to do that. But yeah, this was actually a really, really fun read. So I'm going to do that. And if I am able to finish Book of Night, I'll give you guys an update. Bye, friends. I'm back. It is the next day. I wound up finishing Scanner and the Unicorn Thief late last night. Well, like early enough that like I was able to go to bed and like get stuff done. But I only have an hour left of Book of Night, so I think I'm going to take today and finish that and do some organization in my bedroom, and I think I'm going to take you guys along for that and do like a mini reading vlog for that because it's quite a process. And I also read pretty much the whole book of Book of Night. I had restarted it earlier. Again, I'm really not the biggest fan of this book like right now. And I think because I put it in my head I wasn't going to like Book of Night and Daughter of the Moon Goddess because so many people didn't, I think it gave me a little bit of like some negative press in my head, and I normally don't do that, but the prompt was find books that people didn't like. But I'm gonna go start my next reading vlog because I think I have enough footage, and if I don't, I'm sorry, it's a little bit shorter, or maybe you like that. Tell me in the comment what are ideal vlog lengths for you guys. I tend to yammer on and on, so they tend to be a little bit longer. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. I always feel so awkward saying that. And like, and I will try to have a new video out for you guys soon. Stay safe and be well, friends. Bye.